Okay? And at that moment, I knew my life had changed forever. Hello, how you doing? Yes. Can we all just stand up really quick because we've been sitting for a minute? Can we all stand up, move our legs around? I am Tina. Otherwise...
Meet Tina, StarzTina Wilson, a beacon of hope and transformation for women over 40. As a licensed life and health coach, Tina specializes in empowering those who have faced life's toughest challenges.
The edge of their seat. So when someone says, Tina, how did you do? I'm going to say, I had them at the edge of their seat.
Drawing from her personal triumphs over tragedy, Tina guides women on a transformative journey. Her unique approach is grounded in the 5 pillars of transformation: mindset, heart set, nutrition, fitness, and resilience. Tina's mind, body, and soul awakening program isn't just about surviving, it's about thriving. Through her online fitness boutique studio, she merges physical well-being with emotional growth. As an international motivational speaker, Tina's voice resonates across continents. She inspires and educates through her podcast, her dynamic presence on platforms like Clubhouse and Toastmasters International, and her compelling storytelling. Celebrating her latest achievement, the publication of her first book, No More Traumedy, Tina continues to leave a lasting mark in the art of transformation.
I said I need to make a book for anyone who's had some type of trauma or tragedy, because there's no playlist. People don't like to talk about it. Remember, I was with my coach and I'm like, well, this person's got a cool thing. They do motivation. They do finances. I talk about traumedy. That's not cute. He's like, Tina, you make traumedies look good.
Yeah. StarzTina Wilson, transforming lives by overcoming one traumedy at a time.
Hey, good morning to you and also you. I am StarzTina. I am so excited, so grateful to be here for the first Wednesday of 2025. If this is your first time ever seeing me, welcome. I want you to get over to that YouTube channel and subscribe. Who am I? A little bit about me. I am a coach, a life, health, and business coach. Traumedy, that is my jam, people. A traumedy is a word that I actually trademarked because a lot of people don't like to talk about the uncomfortable things, right? So I am a coach that focuses on the things that people don't like to talk about. A traumedy is when the energies of a trauma and a tragedy collide. When this happens, life-changing experiences occur. And coaching actually began with personal training and fitness, because fitness is my foundation. That is my groundwork to everything, right? And a coach, I'm also a transformational speaker. Why do I say transformational? Because I'm that person that's first going to motivate you with my energy, motivate you with my excitement, and then I'm going to inspire you to be the best you that you can possibly be. But we can't stop there, people. We cannot stop there. Then the transformation comes. And how does the transformation happen? The transformation happens with mindset. The transformation happens with working, with putting in all the challenging things that you don't want to do, but you do anyway. So welcome to the StarzTina Show. We are here every Wednesday. Actually, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But Wednesdays are one of my favorite days, because if you didn't know, I'm also an author, as I mentioned. And one of my books, No More Traumedy, is all about pushing through those uncomfortable feelings as an adult, right? I wrote the book inspired by the murder of my sonny boy, Jamal Molly Gaines. He was murdered when he was 21 years old. And no one really teaches you how to deal with trauma or tragedy, right? No one teaches you how to talk to your family, how to talk to your friends, how to talk to your loved ones. No one tells you that. So you don't know, right? So in the beginning, it was very challenging for me. I didn't know what to do, how to do it. Let's fast forward to today, and February is actually going to mark 9 years that he's been gone, and I have learned so much stuff, people, let me tell you. And in this, actually, I have it right here. Here is the book. In this book, which you can actually get on Amazon, it teaches you how to push through the pain, how to acknowledge it, the things that I did, right? And I wish I had that book 9 years ago. My life would look a lot differently. But then when the book came out, someone said, Tina, what about the children? So then I decided to do a book for children, and it's called Traumedy, No More for Kids. We had a huge event last year. I actually put together a children's program even for teachers. This is our teachers workbook edition. So we have a team, and Allison, who's part of this crew right here, she's part of the team where we go into different schools and teach the faculty. And we actually had the opportunity to do that last year for one of the schools, and not just the faculty but the students as well. And I said, you know what, Tina, there's parents, there's teachers, there's students who need knowledge. So I decided to make this morning show, the Wednesday show, all about Trauma No More for Kids. Now, today's show, it's wild, guys, because I love planning. I love organization. I love being in control. But I realized God is the only one in control, right? So last year I made this whole list. We're going to do this Q1. We're going to talk about this week 1, week 2. And then bam, nope, it's not going to happen that way. Because as we know, life be lifing, right? And so many emotions, so many things happen that are out of our control. So instead of getting all flustered like a fish out of water and getting all upset because things aren't going the way you want them to do, control what you can control. What is that? Yourself, right? Control your emotions, control how you feel, because the hard things are going to come, right? I was watching a movie the other night because sometimes I just need like a break. My brain's just like, girl, give me something. So I decided to watch this movie, and I had a very close member of my family is very sick. They're in the hospital. My computer, I thought she died. She didn't die, but she's out of commission. And all of my passwords and everything's in my computer. So my Netflix password is in there. So I was just watching from my iPad, which I had to get, which is all new to me. And I said, I'm just going to go to YouTube. So I found this movie on YouTube. I do not know the name of the movie, but for some reason, I just get attracted to these things that deal with trauma or tragedy. And it was about a little girl. I'm not going to give you the whole detail of it, but it was a beautiful family, beautiful Black family, mom, dad, daughter. The mom was a lawyer, I think. And they said it was a true story. And the mom passed away. And let's just say this little girl, she looked like she was probably 11, 12, was so upset because she didn't want her dad to go out with any other women. She just did some crazy things, like well, not her, but her dog. Like she sticked her dog on people. And it got me to thinking about losses, deaths, right? Especially during the holidays, it's always tough. And I know definitely how challenging it is to lose a loved one at a young age. And if you think about it, the brain, actually, you know what? Let's bring Allison in. Come on up, Allison. Bring my girl, Allison. Hey, girl. Hey. Allison,
Hello,
good
good
morning.
morning.
Hey, sunshine. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I am awesome. Before I get started, because you know Tina could just talk and talk and talk. Tell the people who you are, where you are, what you do.
My name is Allison Irvin. I am a licensed clinical social worker and a registered play therapist. And basically, the English version of that is I am a therapist for kids and I work in Bloomfield, New Jersey.
I love it. We love Jersey. And also to let you know, Allison, I don't know if this is true, but this is what I heard. Allison's going to be writing a book. She is part of our crew, our team. As I mentioned, we have a team of people, the Trauma No More for Kids coaches, I guess you can call us, right? Where we go to different schools. And I was talking to them. We were talking about sharing your story, right? And then I have a few people, by the way, if you're watching this and you're like, I want to write a book, or you want to be a part of an anthology, I'm doing an anthology it's going to be finished in October. And an anthology is one book with various authors. So Renee, if you can put the text number on the bottom, if you're interested in being part of my anthology or being a part of writing your own book, tonight we're having a get the information meeting at 8 p.m. tonight. And I think Allison wants to be a part of something. Her mom told me, she's like, she's got things out there. So if you're interested, tap into that. But I was talking about death, Allison, and for children. And I wanted to talk about the brain, right? And we don't have to get too technical because you know me and my words for the brain. I'm moving to go out and give it that front. I know frontal. But anyway, they say as a child, your brain isn't fully developed enough to understand certain things. And my father died when he was 49. I was 21 or 22. And let me just tell you, I don't know if you know, Allison, but I was actually in Bermuda. My father was in America when he passed away, and I was 22, 21, something like that. And I stopped eating and I stopped drinking because I was just so sad. I didn't sleep. So at nighttime, I hung out with the people that were up at night. During the day, I hung out with family. I just didn't do anything. And then I didn't eat because I wasn't hungry.
Yeah.
And then when your mind doesn't they say this is what they say. So let's just say after 2 weeks of that, Tina wasn't too right, and I ended up in a psychiatric hospital for 8 weeks. The worst experience of my life. They were like, you're going to take medication for the rest of your life. You're going to be in this hospital forever. And I was like, hold up, wait a minute, that's not happening. So I want to talk about children today, or even adults who go through some type of loss. How do they take the reins of life in charge? And you can begin with yourself, because I know you recently had something, and last year, if you want to share your story a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday was the 1 year anniversary of my dad passing. So I lost my dad at a young age too. So I get it, and it was very sudden. And I had recently a very close friend of mine lost their father as well.
So your father, was it a sudden loss, or
Yeah.
like was he sick?
No, it was very sudden.
Okay. And would you say, because you said a friend of yours father died, which was kind of like a dad to you as well, correct?
Yeah.
Would you say there's a huge difference between a sudden loss and one that you kind of know about? Like if someone has cancer or something, is there a difference in the way it affects your body?
I'm not sure. I mean, I think I want to say no because I feel like it's all the same. And, I feel like we can try and plan to be like, okay, well, if so and so passes away, right, this is how I'm going to feel, right? I'm going to like pre grieve them, which is called anticipatory loss, right? I can
Ooh, look at
anticipate.
you with the $10 word. Anticipatory loss. Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's when you basically like grieve a person before they pass. So like if they have dementia, if they have Alzheimer's, if they have like cancer that's not curable, if they have anything like that, that's kind of like, hey, it's not gonna end well for them. You kind of grieve them before they pass, and I think that does it help maybe a little bit, but I think at the end of the day, like nothing prepares you for that reality of when the person really is gone, when they really do pass.
I want to talk about this anticipatory loss, because I think my personal feelings, God knows what we can handle, right? And they always say, God's not going to give you more than you can handle. I hate that saying, but it's true, right? Like, I know my father passed away in America when I was in Bermuda. And I don't know why I used to play these things in my head. And I said, he knew to have me in another country when my father passed away, because I really would have lost it, right? Like, if I would have been in America and I got the phone call, your father, I would have driven to his house. I would have laid on his body. Like, this is just something I would have done. Like, I'm not leaving you. Right. And then my son was a sudden loss. Right. It's
Right.
actually, I didn't. Oh, yeah, it was a sudden loss. Right. Like, I got there and I wanted to get in the store. I'm like, let me in, let me in. They wouldn't let me in. And then, boom, your son is dead. It's like, okay, what do you do? But the anticipatory loss, can you give some tips? Because thank God I've never had that. I don't know how I would handle that. 2 or 3 things that people can do if they know a loved one's about to, like, in a year or something like that. Should they cry all the time? Should they? What I'm thinking, stay in the moment. But what would you say as the professional?
I mean, I think everybody does their own, and I think that it's okay to do what you need to. I mean, even though my dad's loss was sudden, 9 months before he passed, he had a stroke, and we lived every day like, hey, we don't know if we'll have a tomorrow. We don't know if we'll get another chance. So every time, right, we left his house, we would make sure we said, I love you. We would make sure we said, like, gave him a hug, gave him a kiss, right? Make sure that we left nothing unsaid. So it was like, if for whatever reason we don't have another tomorrow, we don't have any regrets. And, we told him through the process too, if you don't want to get the stents in your brain to try and help with the aneurysm, don't do it. Right. If you don't want that, don't do it. We have to do what we have to do. So make sure that nothing is left unsaid. And I think in terms of how people can anticipatory grieve someone, I don't know. I didn't have that. But I think it's just, making sure that you've done whatever you feel like you need to do. Because I think when we have this sudden loss, we might always be like, "Oh, well, I should have said that. I should have done that. I could have this, I could have whatever." And it's okay to just say, it happened. It is what it is. Um, because I think as much as we believe we can prepare for it, I know I spent days after my dad's stroke, so many months that I was like, if he passes away, it's fine, right? I'll be ready. It's fine. It'll be okay. It'll be fine. I'll be prepared. And then it happened, and I was like, wait, people really die? This really happens? Like, oh my gosh. So I think it's a matter of doing what you think you need. I think if you know that someone's passing away and you think you need that support, it's okay to start therapy before. It's okay to have that support before, because I also know, as someone who started therapy after my best friend passed away, going and talking to a stranger and being like, "Yeah, so this person close to me died and this is how I feel," is really awkward. So maybe if it's that anticipatory grief, try and see if you can find yourself a therapist before that person passes away. So you feel like you have support from another human who's not emotionally involved in it. Because I think that that's helpful. There's someone that they don't lose anything when that person passes away. They're still composed, they're still together in that sense that they can be there to kind of walk you through it.
I love that. Two things I want to reply with that. There was a client that I had, and one of the reasons why, and it's wild because most people start with me for fitness, right? They want to have more energy, they want to be more confident, but at the end of the day, it's something deeper. And we found one of the things that she was nervous was when her mother, when her mother passed away, if when, because she was older, how would she deal with it?
Yeah.
And it's wild because it was kind of like anticipatory coaching that I gave her. And I remember like her mother had fallen and then she had passed away. And then after like the whole situation, she was like, "Thank you so much, Tina." She was not only able to support herself when this happened, but
Yeah.
her sisters,
Yeah.
right? So it's good to get that. And then I want to go back to the first thing you said is when you know someone's about to pass away, live each day with the moment. Why can't we do that with everybody? Like, you honestly don't know. I could literally get up
Yeah.
right now and have a stroke and die. Okay. I don't know if strokes give you death or whatever, but you never know. So I think we should treat every single person with just that love, that just, I love you, that
Yeah.
genuine love, right? So if you're just tuning in, this is Allison. She is our therapist with the Moses. Today we're talking about trauma, tragedy, traumedy when it comes to losing a loved one, especially for children. You see a text number going on the bottom. We're talking about if you wanted to write your book or be a part of a traumedy anthology. Also, this Saturday, I'm doing a workshop, Allison, because I think it's important for people to share their story. And I want your thoughts on this for children as well. Expression, communication. We always say the body heals. I'm sorry, the body holds the score.
Yeah.
And great book. It's kind of a difficult read a little bit. But this weekend I'm doing a workshop to teach people how to share their story. One reason why I think it's important is because to get it out, right? When you keep that stress, that anger, that sadness, when you keep it in your body, it's like inflammation, it's disease. You got to get it out. So one, it helps make you feel better. And second, the people you can support around you that have gone through it, right? So if there's a mom out there and she's lost a child and she sees me, she's like, wow, how is she able to do it? Because
Yeah.
Allison, when I first lost my son, and there's a community of women, I like to call them warrior moms, moms who have lost a child. And some of them were pretty angry and evil and mean and just like, I hate God. And I was just like, and one of these moms, it was literally like 5 or 6 years and she was still feeling this way. And I had just lost my son and I was like, okay, I don't want to be like that. Right. I don't want to be evil. And I'm just like, she still feels that way. Dude, it's bloody well. It's going to be 9 years that my son was murdered. And it feels like it happened last Friday. Talk to
Yeah.
me about that in regards to your thoughts.
I mean, I think everyone heals in their own way. And I think that, I think that hmm, I think that it can be difficult because I think for me as someone who like, am I heavily religious? No. Am I religious to some degree? Yeah. It's okay to be upset with God if you feel like that's something you need to get through. Because I remember feeling like, what the heck? Like we had just taken him home from the hospital because he had a headache and we brought him to just make sure because And the doctors had said, like, he looks better than we ever thought. Like, when we called and told his doctors that he passed away, they had no words. They were like, we can't believe that happened. Like, we just saw him and everything looked so good. But I think, again, like, using that support and moving through it, because I think we don't have to believe that everything happened for a reason to make us feel okay with it. But to say, like, bad things happen and that's okay. Bad things happen and it's okay, because we can't control it, but we can control what we do about it, right? I don't have to say that my dad dying made me a better person, because do I believe that? Not necessarily, but it's something that happened. And if I choose not to go through that, and I choose not to accept that, and I choose not to work through that, the only person it's going to hurt is me. It's not going to hurt him anymore.
Love this, girl. So we're about to give you 3 tips on how you can push through when you've had a loss. And I love what you just said, Allison, when you said the loss of your father didn't make you a better person, or did make you a better person, or whatever. Like, the loss of my son, I made a point for his death to mean something to me,
Yeah.
to anyone, right? That's why I do all the events, the programs, just like he died for a reason. So I love how you said that. Like, I am a better person, but either way, we're going to be great people, whether people die or don't die. So we're going to give you 3 tips right now that you can use for yourself, a family member, a friend, a child, right? If they're going through some type of loss, whether it's a pet, right? Because that hurts too.
Yeah.
I have a video. Oh my gosh, my daughter's fish died. You'd think it was like her best friend. I'm laughing. I didn't realize it. And she's literally like boo-hoo crying. Renee, if you have them across the bottom, you can go, or Allison, you can go into the first tip of what you can do when someone has a loss or a grief and it's a child.
I think we said it was use support. And that support can be anyone or anything. It can be a parent, it can be a caregiver, it could be an adult that you trust. It could be friends, but I think leaning on that support, because I know it's our second point, but it's okay to not be okay. And I think, like, for kids and even adults, that's why meal trains exist, right? That's why people reach out for support, because no one expects you to say, like, hey, my dad passed away, my brother passed away, my son passed away, my mom, my uncle, my dog, my sister, my brother, whoever it is. No one expects you to just be okay. So use that support for kids and for adults, that it's okay to need support. And utilize that. If that's a therapist, if that's at school, your guidance counselor, your school social worker, your school, whatever they got these days, use that support. If you have a therapist, it's okay to use that. If you think that you need a therapist, it's okay to ask for that. Because you can't get through it alone. You need that support. We all do. Kids, teens, adults, everybody, like, we all need support when we encounter a loss.
I love it. Don't be afraid to ask for help, right? And for people that see people who've had a loss, I know before I had my trauma, I didn't know what to say to people, right? Sorry for your loss. Well, did you say anything? It's like, so it's kind of scary to say. I liked you said our second tip was it's okay to dissociate or associate. Want to talk about that a little bit?
I think it's okay to do whatever. And I think even in that, for people offering that support, it's okay to say that you don't know what to say. And I think that it's okay to ask the griever, what do they need? What would be helpful? Do you want to talk about something random? Do you want to talk about your person that passed away? Do you want to talk about them? Do you want to talk about how you feel? Do you not want to talk about how you feel at all? Do you want to go for a walk? Do you want to go for a drive? Want to watch a movie, play a game? Do you want to just sit here and be sad? Because I think that everybody handles grief differently. And I think because grief comes in waves too, that what we need changes. So I think not judging yourself for the way that you grieve, because I remember finding myself being angry, being like, my friends are getting married and their dads are going to be there to walk them down the aisle and I won't have that. Or so-and-so's dad passed away when they were 32. Their dad walked them down the aisle and their dad met some of their kids. And that's not fair. I'm mad that they had that. And that's okay. That it's okay to feel what we feel, but to come back to, like, at the end of the day, I got to do what I need. And whether that's, hey, we're going to order takeout for the next week because I don't have it in me to cook, or, hey, I don't want to go to school for the week because I can't do it. That's okay. But I think knowing when it becomes too much, because, right, if I'm like, hey, it's been a year and I still don't want to cook and I still don't want to clean and I still don't want to go to work, that might be a little more. And that might mean like, hey, I might need a little bit of help if I am still in a year, because that's okay. If that happens, that's okay. But reach out for support, because you might be at a point now where you need a little bit more than you can give yourself.
Exactly. And that's when you wrap your arms around people that know, right? For me, Allison, the next week I went right back to work. I was just like, I had to move. And it's just like, what are you doing here, Tina? It just, it fueled me, right? I might sit in the car crying for like 30 minutes and then go inside and teach a class, but I needed to move my body. If you're just tuning in, we're giving you 3 tips on how to support yourself and children if they've had a loss of a mother or father or anyone close to them, right? The first one we said, what was the first one again? I forgot.
You support.
Yes, thank you. You support. The second one was dissociate or, associate with certain things. And then the last one, pray. It just, I think, pray for everything. Pray. So I've noticed a lot of people are afraid to pray. They don't know how to pray. They say, I don't know how to pray. Just talk. Just like talk to God, and maybe you don't believe in God, you believe in some higher power. But for me, as I mentioned in the beginning, Allison, I would go to church and I was just like looking up at heaven, looking up at God, and I was just like evil. And I was like, I was mad. And there was one thing, only one person said something that made me feel good. It was my girlfriend, Marquita. And she said, Tina, God is getting his army together and he wants your son as one of his soldiers. Yeah. And when she said that, I was like, okay, I felt better, right? And then again, changing your mindset, changing what you're thinking. And then I thought, instead of like for your dad as well, I don't get to have him walk me down the aisle. I don't get to see my son get married. I don't get to have grandchildren from him, right? I thought about, wow, I got 21 beautiful, glorious years with him. I got 21 beautiful memories. So that's what I need us to do when it comes to death, right? Instead of getting sad and that. And yes, you can, like you said, if you're stuck for a year, get some help. But otherwise, let's look at the good side of it. What did they build in you, meaning your character, your traits? And that is what I use to make me a better person. Well, my father would want this, right? My grandma. So give us a little outro for us, Allison. I'm starting to get a little emotional, but I'm moving my body.
No, it's okay. I was just going to say that even if you don't believe in that, I have a book and it says Letters to My Dad. And it says things I wish I could tell you, even if you don't believe in God, you don't believe in a higher power. Is that a book or is that a journal? It's a journal. So it's a notebook, it's blank, and you can write letters to your person. And I think it can be personalized. But I think that it's okay not to be okay. And it's okay to feel that grief, and it's okay to feel whatever it is that you need to feel, but it's okay to talk to that person, and it's okay to work through it and ask for help if you need it. And I think the most important thing that I think I learned is don't judge your grief. Just let your grief be. If you're mad, be mad. If you're sad, be sad. If you want to go back to work, you want to go back to school, go ahead, do whatever you need to do, but don't judge yourself for what you're feeling.
I love that. Can we see that book again? That was pretty cute.
Yeah.
It's a journal. How often do you write it? Is it a certain time or just when you're
Anytime that I feel like I want to speak to him. I was just covering his name at the bottom. But
is it personalized?
But
it's
personalized.
Oh wow.
My mother got this.
Your nails look beautiful, by the way.
Oh God, they're so grown out. Don't look at them. But I think my mom got it on Etsy, and you can have it personalized for like whoever or whatever. But if you don't believe in a higher power, you don't want to believe in God, and you want to have a person, write letters. Because anytime anything happens, I think I've like halfway filled this book within a year. Anytime that something happens, you can talk to them. Because I know for some people, they're like, it's weird to just talk to someone and not have them answer. Get a journal. You don't even need this fancy thing. Like, you don't even need this fancy thing. If you don't want to talk, if you feel weird talking to yourself out loud, or like talking to your person or talking to whoever, Write a letter to God, write a letter to your person, do whatever.
I love it. I love it. You know, something I used to do? I used to, when it first happened, I would dream about my son a lot. And it felt so good. Like my daughter dreams about him. And it felt like he was right there. Did you ever have dreams about your dad, or do you have
Yeah.
dreams about your dad?
Yeah. Yeah, and they're comforting. And I think it's like it's something that brings them to you, you know? I
Yeah.
think it's a sign, but I don't who knows?
And what I would do, like I haven't gone on my phone in a while. That's why I say that's a book, but that's not the main book. My main book is still in my phone, because every day I would write, because I didn't want to forget anything. Like I wrote what happened the day I was driving him to work, and I'd have dreams and I'd write down my dreams. So like you said, just writing, journaling, getting it out of your body is pretty phenomenal.
Yeah.
So, family and friends, we're going to go over our 3 tips today. This is the StarzTina show. This is Allison. We're here every Wednesday. We may have to push the time back, Allison, because it was a struggle bus trying to get all this together. I didn't even get to finish my gym workout this morning. I'm just like, ah! So,
Okay, we're gonna do it. We're gonna make it work.
yes, God has us here to support you, to empower you for your children. Today, we gave you 3 tips on how you can overcome sadness from a loss or for your child. And Allison, can you just give us those 3 tips again for those people watching?
Yeah, use support. It's okay. And talk to them. Pray, talk to them, pray, believe in that spirituality, whatever it is that works for you.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And anything to tell us who you are, what you do, where people can find you, all that good stuff.
Yep, my name is Allison Urban. I am a licensed clinical social worker and a registered play therapist, and I work in Bloomfield, New Jersey. I work for a savvy out of network practice. So if you are interested, you can go to our website, or you can just Google Cultivate Therapy Team. We have offices in Jersey City, Bloomfield, and Milburn. Yes, and Milburn. I work in our Bloomfield office. You can schedule a free consultation, and in that, we'll get your insurance figured out. If you don't have out of network benefits, or it's not something workable for you, I can connect you with a play therapist or a teen therapist, whatever it is you need that is in network and is helpful for you.
I love it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And if you also, we have the book Traumedy No More for Kids. There is a course with this. Allison is one of the coaches that supports me when we go to different schools. If you're looking for support for your child and you really don't know what to do, my shipment's coming. The book looks a little something like this: Traumedy No More for Kids. And it just gives you tips of how to teach your children how to tap into those feelings of anxiety, stress, and depression, and then how to push through, whether it's making beads, whether it's journaling, breath work, whatever. Allison, thank you so much for rolling through.
Of course. Have a good one.
Bye-bye, Allison. I don't know if you're able to pull yourself out. If you are, great. If not, you guys watching this show, we're so grateful to have you here today. As I said, we're here every Wednesday. We don't know about the time yet. I will get the time together. I just want to leave you with a little words of wisdom as we get out of here, a little inspiration to just let you know that it's 2025. And the thing that that she said today that really hit me was the anticipatory loss, right? And pretty much it's when you know someone's about to pass away and you have that time before to just get your body ready, get your mind ready. Well, I am going to start living every day like this, because you don't know when you're going to lose someone. You may lose a mother, a sister, a child today, right? We don't know. We're not promised tomorrow. So just live every day in the moment, be super present. But first of all, take care of yourself. That's the most important thing. If you don't take care of yourself, there's no way you can take care of anyone else. And start with those morning and evening rituals. There's a text number going at the bottom. I can offer you a free ebook on morning and evening rituals. A lot of people say, I want to be like you, Tina. I want that energy. I want this. Well, text ebook, and I can send you that ebook, which will teach you how to have great morning rituals, which will teach you how to have great evening rituals, because it starts right here in the mindset, right? If you want to be a part of our anthology, or if you want to write your own book, text book there. And this Saturday, we're doing a workshop to teach you how to share your story. I'm so grateful to be here. So excited. With that being said, see you guys soon. Peace and a bottle of hair grease. Bye. See ya. See ya. See ya. See ya. I hope you enjoyed the show.